I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president.
As we told you earlier in the broadcast, this is an historic night in America as President Biden addressed the nation for the first time since announcing he will not seek re-election.
Yeah, this 2024 presidential race is seemingly almost a carbon copy of a wild campaign season of nearly 60 years ago. Our Leon Bibb shares the details then and now.
Live long enough and be watchful, and you will understand how sometimes history repeats itself.
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
President Joe Biden's decision not to run again for the presidency sounded like an echo of 1968, when another beleaguered president, Lyndon B. Johnson, under enormous political and social pressure because of an unpopular war in Vietnam, made this announcement.
I shall not seek, and I will not accept, the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
Democrat Lyndon Johnson's 68 announcement was to a politically divided United States. It is a similarly divided America today that President Biden steps aside from what had been another presidential run. 1968 and 2024 are split-screen moments divided by 56 years. Wars. In 68, the long war in Vietnam, where tens of thousands of U.S. soldiers were dying amid some of the fiercest fighting. A Vietnam War, which would go on for another several more years, came home to Americans with widespread protests. In 2024, the war in Ukraine against an invading Russia continues, with the U.S. supplying huge amounts of military armaments to Ukraine. And the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza. Americans are deeply divided over whether the U.S. should supply Israel with armaments. Both 68 and 2024 heard gunfire as leaders were caught in gunmen's crosshairs. Former President Donald Trump was wounded on camera by a would-be assassin as Trump campaigned for the presidency. In 68, former U.S. Attorney General and sitting U.S. Senator Robert Kennedy, campaigning for the presidency, shot and killed. The camera was there too. That same 1968 saw civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated. History will look back upon 2024 as it does of 1968. Both times witnessed different visions of what America could be or should be. Americans were in confrontation with each other. Add to that, both 1968 and 2024 go down as Olympics years. This year's Summer Games in Paris, France, 1968's Winter Games, when they were still held in the same year as the Summer Games, were also in France, Grenoble, France. 1968 was a tumultuous time, marking an inflection point in American history. 68 is still studied and will be for generations, for it marked a turning point in American society, with contradictions that have yet to be resolved. 7 months into 2024, it appears this year is headed in that same direction. For 3 News, I'm Leon Bibb.
Another fascinating fact, Leon and I were talking about this, the Democratic Convention in 2024 will be in Chicago. The Democratic Convention in 1968 was in Chicago.